Good morning again. We are back with more talk time here on Activated Mornings with Roleza and Dianna and Kingsley DeFreitas because he's already here to bring us his commentary. Kingsley, good morning.
Yeah, special good morning to you guys. I listened to the program and some of what you say is is a fact because when I was a younger fella going to school, we were living close, very close against a neighbor. And you used to always hear the parents them saying, I want my children to go to grammar school and girls high school. And seeing that attention, it did happen. The three children did went to two went to the girls high school and one went to the grammar school. And it has been a trend in Stevenson that people say, well, when my children go to do common entrance, when they pass, they have to go to high school and grammar school. So there is not like that. And we have to applaud the authorities for making a level of impartiality across the board because, like, I drove two parents yesterday and they were listening to the radio station. They were commenting that they send their children to rural secondary schools and the children did extremely well. Not because they could not afford to send them to the girls guys and the boys grammar school because they wanted the children to have a level of experience. And what came out of that discussion is that it's not the structure, it's the content of the school and what the children and what the parents and what the teachers is doing for the children. So it's important that you have that level of communication because, like I say, I grew up in an era where my father and my mother used to say, you sure me work hard to send all the school? Me want her to become a lawyer and a doctor. But my father was a full-time taxi driver and my mother was a stay-home mother. And they did well. I have other people who do that. But they had this theory that you have to, if you want to excel in life, you have to go grammar school, high school, well, the community college coming now, and then they go to university and become a doctor or a lawyer. So, and then we sit and we wonder, what taking place in our society? Why are we not seeing people want to be agriculturists, meteorologists or something? So is that trend that we used to hear from our parents? Man, they have to go to become a lawyer. And so if you look at today's society, half of Kingston is a lawyer. And some of the people, almost 95% Vincentian people are medical personnel at the General Hospital in Kingston. So it has been like that. But I believe over a period of time it will change where children will participate and go to regular schools and they will do as good as the quote unquote privileged children. And that's my thought for today. Now, have a wonderful day. See you all right here on Monday morning, bright and early. And I remember.
Wait. Hold on. See us
Uh,
bright and early Monday morning on to tomorrow.
Wait, tomorrow, sorry.
Yes,
Okay.
Kingsley. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, no, but I will see you tomorrow, bright and early on Friday morning, which is tomorrow. I don't know why I always have a 4 day week in my head because wait, after Wednesdays at the airport, it get really slow on a Thursday. So I don't know if that is the reason why because I don't normally go up on a Thursday morning because of the impact the Wednesday has have on me. So that's probably why. So I'll see you all right there tomorrow morning, bright and early, okay?
All right. Lovely, Kingsley. Have a safe one
All
today.
right.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, then there you have it. That was Kingsley DeFreitas with his commentary there. He was continuing from what was discussed this morning as it relates to the placement of students in secondary schools.
All right, and we do apologize for the intro there. That was a technical thing on our part. All right, so apologies. But in essence, you got what Kingsley was saying. So apologies, right, for persons who are listening. All right.
Remember, you can call us if you wish to be a part, if you wish to share your thoughts, if you wish to ask a question. You can be a part of the discussion. It is all of we discussion. 457-9997. You call us, WhatsApp direct number, direct line, and you can get us there. Okay.
All right. So I think so somebody was commenting, I guess it was in the commentary that I made, that they're saying that as it stands, all secondary schools staffing are on the same level. All right. So I'm not doubting the person. So with that being the case, yes, congratulations to staffing being on the same level, right? But there is just another thing that I'm saying, that now I don't subscribe to this prestigious school thing situation. Yes, I may have gone to girls' high school, but I am probably like a different type of girls' high school kind of student, right? Let me leave that alone. So the thing of it is that, so yes, I did go to this school, but for me, while it is that I appreciated the learning that I got there, I appreciated the lifelong friends who I have made there. At the end of the day, really and truly, the success or failure of a student is not just solely dependent on the school that they go to, right? As you indicated, part of it has to do with the parental involvement. And another thing too is that I am so happy that, and as I was telling somebody yesterday, telling a friend of mine, daughter yesterday, that I am so happy that they're growing up in this age where they don't think that they have to turn out to be lawyers and doctors to be successful, right? Because she's into the creative arts. And I'm saying, you as young persons growing up now, you can make money doing anything that you want to. And the formal learning and even going to these type of schools, and yes, you're turning out with for me, doing 10 subjects back in the day was a big deal, but now turning out with the 15 subjects, which I still think doesn't make sense. But turning out with these 15 subjects, etc., still does not determine, number one, the type of person that you're going to turn out to be in life, and your level of contentment in life, right? Because many persons may go down certain roads in life of wanting to become this lawyer, wanting to become the doctors, wanting to become these prestigious positions within society, and many of them are miserable as hell, miserable as in unhappy as hell. So it really and truly, I think what we need to do is have this whole appreciation of what learning is, what children want to do or who they want to become, and allow them to follow that particular path. So for me, being placed in a particular school or being placed in, let's say, a town school as opposed to a rural school, once you have that parental involvement, and on top of that, teachers who actually care, right? Because I can understand you being qualified, but do you actually care about the profession that you are in? Both of us, you and I, were both teachers, and both of us left the profession, right? But we left the profession for different reasons. And in my case, I left the profession because I know it was not a profession that I wanted to be in. So the thing of it is that you also have to take stock of yourself. You can't just be looking forward to the vacation time and, the 3 months or just about 3 months off of vacation during the quote unquote summer period. You have to actually want to be involved in the teaching, and you have to want the best for your children. And I think if you have teachers who actually want to be in the profession, then where students are placed, whether it's a rural school or a town school, ultimately it doesn't matter. So, yeah. All right. So I know that some persons were trying to call. We do have some time, so you can try calling back now, right? So somebody was saying you might not have the best school thing, but it is happening. It is there. There now. Okay, so let me take this call. All right. Hi, Joshua. Good morning. Joshua.
Good morning.
Morning.
You call my name like if you're frustrated with me.
Like your friend who you need to send the phone for.
Am I permitted to revisit yesterday?
Yes, for maybe like a minute. Go ahead.
You always tend to limit me, but that's all right. That's all right. It's on the issue of the ring thing. When I met my
Well, it's one who you're talking about, Anyway. The
But
conversation
you know what I'm
yesterday was
talking
on the
about now,
cheap,
right?
right? If you
Yes.
get engaged with a cheap ring, right?
Yes. When I met my second wife, 40, let's say 41, 42 years ago, I, sorry, I was so broke I couldn't even buy pork.
But here you gone. Pork you wanted to buy first, Joshua, not even chicken. It's you're reaching
Well,
high.
well, I said pork because I know Vincentians love pork. I mean, everywhere in St. Vincent you go is pork, pork, pork. I don't eat pork. I'm not Adventist, but I don't eat pork. Anyway, back to the subject. I couldn't even, I was so broke, and because my first marriage, I mean, that woman had a lot of money, man. But when I left with nothing. I walked away with nothing, and as an engagement, I couldn't buy an engagement ring, so I gave my fiance the only thing I had was a watch. When we got married, the rings was so cheap, man. I'm telling you, it was out of this world. It was like 3 years after we got married, I was able to afford an engagement ring and a wedding ring. And guess what happened? Guess what happened to the rings?
She threw them away.
My
She pitched them away.
No,
They're in a jewel box or
Two
something.
weeks later,
Oh.
2 weeks later, my dear wife, she's left-handed, so she didn't have to suddenly become left-handed. She went to work as a nurse. She took the rings off to wash her hands, and that's the last she saw of the rings. And I'm telling you, I worked like for 3 years, saved to buy those rings. I wasn't angry. 2 years later, I bought a second set of rings, and now I am not wealthy, but I could afford to buy anything, just about anything. And it didn't make any difference to my wife. I think is Dianna mentioned a jewel box.
Mm-hmm.
My wife ends up in a jewel box or in a safe deposit box in the bank, safe deposit thing in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
She is not too crazy about anything. Just driving me crazy alone makes her satisfied. So we place too much emphasis on possessions.
All righty, thank you, Joshua.
Oh, I've written maybe if you wanted to comment on something
No,
or
we're
some.
done.
Oh, all right.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. You and by the way, the new what I learned was truction from Rosie. Rosie was the one who called me truction, and I couldn't figure out why not this woman was insulting me. But then she explained what it was, what it means.
All right, Joshua, thanks.
So have a good day, ladies.
To you as well,
All right,
thanks. All right.
you.
All right, so morning, Kojo. Kojo Mason.
Oh,
Morning. Kojo? All right, Kojo, we're not hearing you. All right, we're not hearing you, Kojo. All right, so
Okay.
Kojo, good morning. Kojo, good morning. All right, so Kojo, good morning. All right, so Kojo, something seems to be wrong on your end because Joshua called on the WhatsApp and we heard him fine. So something seems to be happening on your end. All right, go ahead, Dianna.
All right. I was gonna comment on the same issue of the school system. Well, I mean, there's a lot that I could say about the school system, but I won't do that right now. But one of the things is you wanted to try
All right,
again?
Hi, Kojo, good morning. Kojo? Still, hi, Kojo? Kojo, we're hearing you come in for like a second and then you're coming out. So something's happening. Good.
Right. So this streaming something, it starts in the primary school, and I do believe that it has an impact on the children. I mean, if I'm being very honest, I would love to see all of the schools get on the same level. So we get rid of all this ranking system, we get rid of this prestigious whatever, and we place them all on the same level, because I do believe that it does something to the minds of children. Some children who go to this particular school would be of the opinion that you're gonna try again. No.
All right.
Hi,
Coach. Good morning.
Okay.
All right. We're not hearing you,
Coach.
All
right. So some children will be of the opinion that, oh, because I go to this school, I'm better than this particular person, or because I go to this school, I'm less than this particular person. And even in primary, well, not just primary school, but even in the classroom themselves, where they are streamed, they're put into different areas for what various reasons. It does something to some children, because there are children who will mock others, they'll bully others, because they'll tell like, oh, well, I'm in a better class than you, or I'm in a better school than you, or you're here, you're there, and make them feel a certain kind of way. But that's just all that I'm going to add for now.
Yeah, but it's interesting how you said that. Well, we haven't seen the persons arrive for catch up, so we could see for the extra minute. One person there. All right. Yeah, you are making the points about streaming, and it's interesting because when it was that in GHS, so when I went into GHS, I went in the top class, right? Because remember they put you they put you based on where it is that you you place in common entrance, right? But afterwards, for the rest of my GHS life, I was in the second stream. And I know that initially, when it is that I moved from being in the top stream to being in the second stream, my mother was upset with it, right? And my whole thing was that, there was a bit of pressure when you were in that top stream, because you are competing against everybody. So a lot of it had more to do with, because persons was so what was the word? We have a fellow GHS student here, so let me. All right. Because you're there's so much. Okay, so they're all the top students, right? So they place high in common entrance, etc. So what used to happen in that class was a lot of ties, right? So you could be coming 15th with like a 70 something, close to 80%, So it does have an effect on students. And part of me, and this is why I kind of had liked convent school in a sense, because you don't have that thing of where you're saying, you're in arts, you're in science, you're this. You get to choose the subjects that you want to do. You have an interest in. So it's not good morning, grammar school boy. So in that way, you don't have that. To me, with convent, it wasn't that type of pressure in a sense, So yeah.
And I find in my time, most of those who went to the top stream for 1G Young, they ended up in a lot of the science classes, and there was that thing among students according to the class you're in. So I'm in 1G Young, we're the top of the top. We over the rest of y'all, we brighter than the rest of y'all. Then there's the 1G Nor. 1G Nor was sort of average. That was my class. And then we had the two, I can't remember what
there was
one,
Velox
Anderson or something, Deacon and so on. And there was that thing where, according to what stream you were in, those at the top would kind of look down on those who are, that's crazy. I remember one of the first mark readings I did, like you said, the percentage was high, but the position I was like close to last, and my mother was livid.
Yeah.
And she was going to punish me when I got home, Roleza. And then she went to a friend, and the friend had a child going to convent, and she showed her the report, and the friend was like, oh, but she did well. If she was in convent, she would have been in like the top 5 or whatever. And then she calmed down. And I was like, I was still upset with her. I wasn't taking this smile because you don't threaten me, but okay. But
yeah, but we do have our stories to tell, and it's just it's interesting. 10 years later, it was the same thing for you. So yeah. All right. So listen. Why you have to be like that? All right. Let me head out to this segment.
And with that, we are heading straight out of this talk segment. It is now 8:04 here in SVG, and this time check came to us by the New Haven Funeral Home.
Death is a fact of life.